Hi friends, I am Murali Vardeli, lecturer in Botany, Department of Botany, Government Degree College, Autonomous, Siddipet. Today we are going to discuss about equisetum. This equisetum topic in BSc BZC Botany first year, first semester, Pteridophyta plant. Okay. In this equisetum, we are going to discuss about classification of equisetum, distribution and habitat of equisetum, morphology of equisetum, anatomy, reproduction, and life cycle of equisetum. Today, mainly we are going to discuss especially classification, distribution and habitat, morphology, and anatomy. Right? What is the classification of equisetum? In this equisetum classification, division Spinophyta, class Calamapsida, order Equisetaceae, family Equisetaceae, genus Equisetum. Okay, this is the classification of equisetum. Division Spinophyta, class Calamapsida, order Equisetaceae, family Equisetaceae, genus Equisetum. Okay, distribution and habitat of equisetum. The equisetum genus is the only living plant in the order of Equisetaceae and family of Equisetaceae. In this Equisetaceae family, only one of the living genus is Equisetum. Right? In this Equisetum, they represents 25 species. Right? Equisetum is nicknamed horsetail and also called as scurrying rushes. Why the Equisetum plants are called horsetails? So aerial suit with closely arranged whorl of branches. It is look like a tail of horse. So it is called horsetail. Next, and also called scurrying rushes because of due to the rough morphology, right? Due to the sandy papery structure of equisetum plant, so it is called scurrying rushes, right? Actually, equisetum shows universally growing in all other part of the world, especially except Australia and New Zealand. In these two areas, Australia and New Zealand, the equisetum not grown, right? But it is universally growing in all over the world except in Australia and New Zealand. Okay. Next, in India, this equisetum represented by about 7 species. They are Equisetum arvens, Equisetum debile, Equisetum dubium, Equisetum diffusum, Equisetum elongatum, Equisetum maximum. These are the some of the species available in India. Right? What are they? Equisetum arvens, Equisetum debile, Equisetum dubium, Equisetum diffusum, Equisetum elongatum. This Equisetum arvens is a cosmopolitan species. So all over the world, this species is available. It grows all over the world. So called it is cosmopolitan species. Right? Next. The Equisetum species grow in the most shady areas along the sources of lakes and creeks. In Equisetum palustri grow in muddy soil along river banks. Equisetum debile grow in the sand dunes of rivers. Equisetum arvens grows in grass as well as sandy soil, as well as sandy soil. Ecosystem plant pots are rough to the touch, so it is called scurrying rushes, right? Actually, ecosystem species are growing in moist, shady areas along the shores of lakes and creeks, but ecosystem palustri grows in muddy soil along river banks. Ecosystem debile grows in the sand dunes of rivers. Ecosystem arvens grows in grasses as well as sandy soils. Ecosystem plant pots are rough to touch. Okay, next, morphology of ecosystem. In this ecosystem, plant sporophyte is the dominant stage. It is a perennial herb, right? Ecosystem is a perennial herb. In the spores, the stem is in Sporophyta, the stem is underground in the form of a rhizome with the aerial branches, leaves and axillary roots. The equivalent plant is usually grow in 10 to 60 centimeters height, but Equisetum debile grow in 3 to 4 meters height, but in Equisetum giganteum grows to height of about 13 meters height. So highest height growing species is Equisetum giganteum. Usually it is grows 10 to 60 centimeters height. Okay, in Equisetum giganteum, branches spread to other trees or to shrubs. It is useful to climb. In Equisetum, stem diameter varies from 0.5 centimeters to 2.5 centimeters in different species. Okay, this Sporophyta is differentiated into three parts, mainly roots, second one is stem, third one is leaves, right? The Sporophyta of Equisetum is differentiated into three parts. One is root, second one is stem, third one is leaf. In this first one is root. In Equisetum, roots are adventitious roots arise from the nodes. These adventitious roots are useful in fixation of a plant and also absorption of water and minerals. It is useful in absorption of minerals and water, and also the fixation of plant, right? Next one is stem. The main stem is an underground creeping and perennial rhizome. This underground perennial rhizome or stem, aerial stem, is differentiated into nodes and internodes. Tubers also arise from the nodes along with the roots and in vegetative reproduction. It is useful in vegetative reproduction, right? Next, from the nodes of the rhizome, many aerial branches are arise. You can observe in this picture. This is the this is sporophytic stage of Equisetum. In this Equisetum, you can observe. So these are the roots. This is a stem. These are the leaves. Okay. In this stem, they differentiated into nodes and internodes. The fertile shoot have scaly leaves arranged oral at nodes, right? Fertile stem is useful in reproduction. Okay, next. So actually, aerial shoot of the stem differentiated into two parts. One is fertile shoot, second one is sterile shoot. So fertile shoot, you can observe in this is the fertile shoot. It is non-branched and non-photosynthetic, absent of chlorophylls. so it is not useful in photosynthesis. Each branch have a cone or strobilus at the terminal, right, terminal of the fertile stem, right. This fertile stem also have nodes and internodes. This fertile stem have scaly leaves arranged. You can observe there are some scaly leaves. So you can observe these are the scaly leaves. Scaly leaves are arranged whorl at nodes. This fertile shoot is useful in reproduction. Next, second one is sterile shoot, right. This is the sterile shoot. The sterile shoot are usually branched, green color and photosynthetic. So it is useful in photosynthesis. In this fertile sterile shoot, whorl of scale leaves are arranged at node. Surface of the stem shows distinct ridges and furrows with alternate to internodes. Surface of the stem is located with the silica which gives the curses surface. Okay. Next, third one is leaf. So you can observe these are the leaves in equisetum. The leaves are very small, simple, scale like and young leaves are light green, but maturity they become brownish, dry and scale leaves. Approximately 3 to 40 leaves are arranged in whorl at nodes. The leaves fuse laterally and their bases to form a sheath with teeth like free tips. Scaly leaves are arranged alternate to the internodes. So alternately arranged to the internodes, right. These are the leaves. Leaves are very small, simple, scaly like leaves. Young leaves are light green, but maturity leaves became a brownish, dry and scale like leaves are present. Each node they have 3 to 40 leaves are arranged in a whorl. Laterally they are laterally at their bases to form a sheath with teeth like free tips. Scaly leaves are arranged alternate to the internodes. Next one is anatomy. In this anatomy we can discuss about root anatomy and also shoot anatomy. In this, first of all we are going to discuss about root anatomy. In this root anatomy you can observe in equisetum root, transverse section of equisetum root shows cylindrical and differentiated into mainly three parts. One is epidermis, second one is cortex, third one is vascular cylinder, right. Mainly differentiated into three parts. One is epidermis, second one is cortex, third one is vascular cylinder. In this, first of all we can discuss about epidermis. This epidermis is outermost single cell layer part is called epidermis. Cells are without any intracellular spaces, right. You can see these cells are very closely arranged and they did not have any intracellular spaces, right. Some cells are modified. Some cells are epidermal cells elongated and form the hairs, single cell hairs, right. You can see these are the single celled root hairs, right. Some of the epidermal cells are elongated to form root hairs, right. This is the epidermis, outermost single cell layer, outermost single cell layer without intracellular spaces. Cells are elongated and form a single cell hair like structures, right. Root hairs are present in epidermis. Next, second one is cortex. Below the epidermis part is called cortex, right. You can observe this is epidermis, this is vascular cylinder. Between the epidermis and vascular cylinder part is called cortex. This cortex of young root completely parenchymatous tissue. but in Walder roots it is differentiated into uh, two regions. One is outer cortex, another one is inner cortex, right? In Walder roots differentiated into outer cortex with sclerenchymatous, and inner cortex is parenchymatous tissue are present. Below the cortex, two layered endodermis is present. You can observe there are two layers are present below the inner epidermis, right? In Casparian strips are present in the outer endodermal layer, and inner endodermal layer is without Casparian strips. Pericycle is actually absent in this equisetum root, but root hairs are arise from the inner endodermis. So inner endodermis develops root hairs, so called it is considered as the inner layer as a pericycle, right? This is the cortex. Once again, what is cortex? Below the endodermis, between the epidermis and vascular cylinder part is called cortex. In young root, this cortex is completely parenchymatous tissue, but in Walder roots it is differentiated into two type of roots. One is sclerenchymatous tissue, second one is inner parenchymatous tissue. Outer sclerenchymatous tissue, inner parenchymatous tissue. Below the cortex, two layered endodermis is present. In outer layer they have Casparian strips, right? And inner endodermal layer is without Casparian strips. Pericycle is actually absent in equisetum root, and lateral roots arise from the inner endodermis, so became it is a consider of the inner layer as a pericycle, right? Next one, vascular cylinder. Third part of the transverse section of equisetum root, that is vascular cylinder. In vascular cylinder, protostyle type of stele is present. It is simple stele, right? Simple stele of vascular cylinder present in equisetum root. In root, xylem is diarch or tetrarch. What is the diarch? Diarch means two protoxylems are present in xylem, that is called a diarch. Whether it is four protoxylems present, that is called a tetrarch, right? A large metaxylem present in the center of the, you can observe this is the metaxylem, right? These are the protoxylems. A large metaxylem present in the center of the stele, and the protoxylem strands lie around it, right? Next, phloem is this is phloem. Phloem is present between the protoxylem strands. Medulla or pith is absent, right? Medulla or pith is absent. In between the protoxylems, phloem is arranged, right? Phloem is strand lie around between the protoxylem strands. Medulla and pith is absent in this equisetum root. Next one is stem anatomy, equisetum stem anatomy. In equisetum, stem appears even in cross section due to the presence of distinct ridges and furrows. This stem anatomy, the stem is differentiated into mainly three parts. One is epidermis, second one is cortex, third one is vascular cylinder or stele. These three are differentiated in the main reasons in stem anatomy, right? In this, first of all, epidermis. What is epidermis? Epidermis means outermost single cell layer is called epidermis. It is made up of closely fitted elongated cells, right? Epidermis covered with a thick silica layer, so it is called scurrying rushes. The process of deposition of silica material on the epidermis is called silicification, right? What is silicification? Deposition of silica material on the epidermis, that is called silicification, right? Endodermis is the epidermis is interrupted due to the shrunken stomata, usually confited to grooves. These are the grooves, right? These are the ridges and furrows are present in this anatomy. Next one is cortex. Below the epidermis part is called cortex. Cortex is differentiated into outer cortex and inner cortex, right? Below the ridges, sclerenchymatous patches are present, right? You can observe these are the sclerenchymatous tissue present below the ridges. It gives mechanical strength to the stem. Below the furrows, chlorenchymatous parenchyma tissue is present. This is the chlorenchymatous parenchyma tissue. It is useful in photosynthesis, right? Due to the parenchymatous tissue, stem appear green in color, right? So this stem is useful in photosynthesis. Okay. Next, the inner cortex. Inner cortex is completely made up of parenchymatous tissue. In the cortical region below the grooves, these are the ridges, these are the furrows or grooves. Below the grooves, large air chambers are present. These are the large air chambers. These are the air chambers. Okay, you can observe these are the air chambers. These are the air chambers. Large air chambers are present. These are called vallecular canals. These vallecular canals filled with air. Okay. Next, last layer of the cortex is called endodermis. It is single cell layered. In the single cell layer endodermis, Casparian strips are present. Okay. Next, third one is vascular cylinder. Central cylindrical part of the stem is called vascular cylinder, right? You can observe in this also. This is the vascular cylinder. It is epidermis. This is cortex. So in this vascular cylinder, central cylindrical part of the stem is called vascular cylinder, right? Outermost single cell layer is called pericycle, right? Next, vascular bundles are arranged in, you can observe these are the vascular bundles. These vascular bundles are arranged in round to the pith. Okay, round to the pith. These vascular bundles are so this type of vascular bundles are called eustelic syphnostele, right? What is eustelic syphnostele? Eustelic syphnostele means arrangement of vascular bundles are around to the pith or medulla, that is called eustelic syphnostele. In vascular bundles are conjoint, collateral and endar. Conjoint means these are two are these two are closely connected and side by side, that is called collateral, and endarch. Endarch means protoxylem at the side of pith, metaxylem at the side of endodermis. The type of xylem arrangement is called endarch arrangement. The alternate in position with the vallecular canals, right? Vascular bundles are arranged to alternate in the position with the carinal canals. These are the vallecular canals. So valvular canals alternate to the valvular canals, the vascular bundles are arranged, right? They are all arranged below the ridges. These are the ridges. Below the ridges, vascular bundles are arranged, right? In each vascular bundle, xylem is arranged in V shape. V-shaped xylem is arranged and phloem located at the center. This is the phloem. So phloem is located at the center. Protoxylem reduced and form carinal canals in each vascular bundles. These carinal canals filled with the water. Next, pith cavity is present most of the species. In Equisetum scleropoidum, the pith tissue is made up of with the sclerenchymatous tissue. Okay, this is the internal structure of Equisetum stem. This Equisetum stem shows both xerophytic and hydrophytic characters. In this, first of all, xerophytic characters. What are the xerophytic characters of Equisetum stem? First character is presence of silica on the epidermis. Second character is epidermis differentiated into ridges and furrows. Shrunken stomata present in the furrows. This is also one of the xerophytic character. Next, cortical sclerenchyma present below the ridges. In xerophytic plants, we can observe they have sclerenchymatous tissue. So this sclerenchymatous tissue is present in cortical below the ridges. Next, scaly leaves are photosynthetic. Scaly leaves are present in stem, and also stem they have photosynthetic character. So photosynthetic stem is present in Equisetum. So these are all characters are belongs to xerophytic characters. Next, hydrophytic characters. Presence of air-filled vascular cavities are present, right? Vascular cavities are present in Equisetum stem. This vascular cavity is filled with air. Next character is carinal canals are present in vascular bundles. These carinal canals filled with the water. Next, in Equisetum stem, reduced xylem is present. So xylem reduced and form a chamber that is called carinal canal. So carinal canal producing character is one of the hydrophytic character. Next, well developed medulla disintegration. So actually in this Equisetum stem, medulla disintegrated and form a hollow. So the type of medulla is present actually in Equisetum stem, right? Next, in Equisetum stem, aerial and underground part are present. Aerial shoot in underground shoot. Aerial is stem, underground it is modified into rhizome. So there are some of the differences between the nodes and internodes, and also aerial shoot and rhizome. In first of all, nodes and internodes. In nodes, the pith remaining intact and form a solid nodal diaphragm. The vascular bundle get fused to form a complete ring of vascular tissue around the pith. This is one of the difference between the aerial, internode and node. Next, vascular, valvular and carinal canals are absent in nodes. Leaf and branch traces are arise from the nodes. This is also one of the difference between the nodes and internodes. Next, difference between the aerial shoot and underground rhizome. So mainly the epidermis lacks stomata in rhizome. Cortex of divided of chlorenchyma. So chlorenchyma absent in rhizome. Sclerenchymatous tissue is less developed in rhizome but well developed in aerial shoot. Pith may be absent or present in rhizome. Carinal and vallecular canals are very much reduced in rhizome. This is the main difference in anatomical characters of aerial shoot internode and rhizome. Right? This is the stem anatomy of equisetum. Right? Today we are discussed about classification, distribution and habitat, morphology of equisetum stem, anatomy. In this anatomy, root anatomy, stem anatomy. In morphology, we observed mainly it is differentiated into roots, stem, leaves. Roots are adventitious roots. They are useful in fixation and absorption of water and minerals. Stem, it is underground, it is rhizome. It is modified into nodes and internodes, right? And also stem, they have two type of branches in some species. For example, Equisetum arvens. The aerial shoots are mainly two types. One is fertile shoot, second one is sterile shoot. Fertile shoot, they have apical strobilus. In sterile shoot, they have photosynthetic. It is useful in photosynthesis. Next, in anatomy, in root anatomy, root differentiated into mainly three regions: epidermis, cortex and vascular cylinder. In stem anatomy, stem also shows mainly three regions: epidermis, cortex, vascular cylinder or stele. In this equisetum mainly they show stele is eustelic siphonostele type of stele is present in equisetum. In equisetum they have xerophytic characters and also hydrophytic characters. Mainly xerophytic characters, the epidermis deposited by silica. Second one is ridges and furrows are present in stem. Next one is sclerenchymatous tissue is present. Next one is reduced xylem is present. Next one is scaly leaves and photosynthetic stem is present. Next, hydrophytic characters, presence of vallecular cavities with filled with air. Carinal canals are present in vascular bundles. Reduced xylem is present and well developed medulla is distinguished and form a hollow. That is a hydrophytic character in this. Right? This is the equisetum. Okay. Thank you everyone.